think this is my first set of clubs, like full set.
Yeah, it was a Christmas gift. And you were just so excited and so pumped.
Now you're teaching me the grip.
I was showing you the grip, and then...
And now I teach you the grip.
Yeah, you teach me the grip now.
Those were all my Christmas gifts, just new clubs.
New golf. And you were already envisioning being the little pro, is you always wore pants. Look at this. I just think this is like the little pro.
Yeah, I know.
So cool. It's so fun.
So good, dude.
You're the same.
No, sounds good.
Something I stumbled onto. It's a Father's Day card that I say.
Did I say anything nice? Clearly didn't know how to, wouldn't want, what?
Your writing is so small.
I wouldn't be what I am without you. You will always be number 2 behind Mom. But not for today, you're number 1.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty awesome.
Love you.
3,295 days since that last major. Now the stage is clear for Wyndham Clark.
Interview, take 1, Mark.
Okay, so the story goes, I was 3 years old. My mom just wanted to get me out of the house and do something for a couple hours. There's a local golf course. So we went there, and it's just a little muni driving range. She got me a bucket of balls, and I proceeded to hit the entire bucket of balls. And then I was like, can I get another bucket? The pro came up and was like, oh, how long is he playing? He looks really good. And she's like, this is his first day. And the guy was like, wow, he's got a natural swing. That's how my mom would tell the story. That's how I got into it initially, was my mom.
Wyndham Clark grew up in a competitive family. His father, Randall, played professional tennis and encouraged Wyndham in multiple sports. Towards the end of high school, Wyndham had turned his focus to golf and was one of the top recruits in the nation.
My dad kind of sat me down and was like, what are you thinking? And that's kind of when I was really focused on Oklahoma State. OSU produces a bunch of professional golfers. My mind was set. My freshman year, I found out my mom was sick. Came home for the Christmas break, and then they told us after Christmas, like, Mom has cancer again, and it came back. It's pretty aggressive. It's not good. It was pretty devastating.
Wyndham's mother, Lisa, was diagnosed with breast cancer, and sadly, just 8 months later, in August of 2013, she passed away. She was 55 years old.
When the grieving of my mom set in, golf didn't seem to be fun anymore. That's where my anger and frustration came out. So that was tough because, I was hurt and didn't want to play golf anymore.
In 2016, Clark transferred to Oregon, hoping that a fresh start would revitalize his love for the game.
That was really huge for me. That atmosphere was what made me excel. I started to believe in myself again and started having fun with golf again. I ended up being Player of the Year and won the Pac-12 championship. Everything switched.
After Clark earned his PGA Tour card in 2018, his assistant coach from Oregon, John Ellis, began caddying for him. They weathered the ups and downs of tour life together, and finally, after 5 years, broke through for Clark's first win.
And he's made his family proud.
My mom, I know she's watching, and I'm just very grateful.
The 2023 U.S. Open returned to California, where many of the game's greats have hoisted the trophy. This year, for the first time in 75 years, this country's national championship came back to Los Angeles.
The practice rounds this week have been significant. There have been significantly more of them. Like, guys are not just playing 9 holes, they're playing 18, and I think that's because there's a lot to try to figure out on this golf course.
Just the lack of familiarity,
Yeah.
I think, has really made a difference.
The thought process with our restoration of the golf course is really to focus on George Thomas and his original design. And we're excited to see how this place holds up.
I mean, it's got to be scary if you're up here, but
Sure.
it's less about the speed and more about can you get there. And if you're on the other side of that mountain, I don't care if this is 11 feet, you've got to really play a heck of a putt and an imagination.
It's the unknown. Players of this generation with this technology take on a chessboard and how they're going to attack it. Everybody's anticipating to see how that plays out.
While no players have professional tournament experience at LACC, defending champion Matt Fitzpatrick hopes to learn the course quickly and only relinquish the trophy for a few days.
I believe it's been a year already. It's just gone so fast. Nice pass. God, you didn't put braces on it. You would have. Yeah. This is, bizarre.
Would you do me a favor? Take that, set it down on any one of the cards. You could have chosen many cards, but you chose this one. I'm gonna have you write your name on it.
Okay.
Write it really big for all these. All right, here we go. I'll put it in the middle, and now it's in my pocket. There's nothing in my hands or in my sleeves, but in my pocket is your card. Take the card and say stop.
Stop.
Please place it right there. From the middle of the deck, I'm gonna make it jump into the box that's sitting in front of you. Please open that up and dump the contents out. Yeah, dump it out right here. You guys see that? Open that. It's got your name written on it, I believe. I'll show these guys.
That's ridiculous.
We need to try to find that story for hitting the first shot.
For number 10, you have a player, Barry Henson, California native, journeyman.
Oh, our Uber driver. Awesome. All right, and he's local too. Perfect. All right, so we'll get some local flavor to get us off and running.
This year, there were more than 10,000 applicants for U.S. Open qualifying. One of the 67 players who advanced to Los Angeles is SoCal native Barry Henson, a career journeyman that has done everything from driving an Uber to playing on more than 10 different tours just to keep his dream alive.
I've done everything I possibly can to become a professional golfer, stay a professional golfer. I've been doing this for 20-something years. Let's see if I can land in that fringe, kill it a little bit. Ooh, it killed it really good.
Yeah, why have you not given up?
A lot of people, told me that I couldn't make it. I think that put a fire in my belly. I got so many friends, so much support in the Southern California area. They're coming out in droves. It's gonna be an exciting week.
Fading into mystery. There's no history where we're flying to the future. Is the past reversed?
Welcome to round 1
Nothing to
of the 123rd U.S. Open Championship, conducted by the United States Golf Association. This is the 6:45 a.m. tee time. Please welcome, from La Quinta, California, Barry Henson.
I piped it down the middle of the fairway on the first hole. I actually was a lot less nervous than I thought I'd be. I was thinking about my mom. I was walking up to 18, thinking of her and thinking of how special this is and just enjoy it.
Barry Henson's opening 74 left him optimistic, with sights set on playing the weekend.
One of the storylines within the story is this 6th hole. This one out here, I don't mind going for it as much because either way I like it. But yeah, nice.
Cut it off? I don't think so.
I'm laying out that well. I can go. Yeah. You got the line right, Rombo? Yeah, it's the edges. It's all good. Yeah. Yep. Stocking gets down there where it leaves you a little bit more distance in. I mean, I don't mind having 50 to be honest. Okay. Yeah. Because you're going on down the air. I got you. Hit you feel like it's stock. I do. Yeah. I think it's plenty. Oh boy. Oh, it's on. Perfect. Okay, fine. Are you cutting that thing? Yep. Okay, perfect. I think we need to read that. Okay. All right, just right of this tree in front of us. Or right, I'm going fast more, it's a little bit left to right. Correct, but yes.
This is left.
Left, it sure is.
I hit it forward, got risky and paid the price for it. Got a decent line, was able to advance it up towards the green, which was lucky, and I was very happy with the 4.
He escapes with 4 here.
Just one birdie here at 12. That's the second.
In 2022, Rickie Fowler missed being in the field as an alternate by 1 spot. In 2023, a resurgent Fowler got off to a fast start.
The first few days this week, I wasn't feeling very comfortable, and finally a couple things clicked.
I'm not used to seeing that long, extended putter with that large grip.
Finally making a handful of mid-range putts, which I haven't done in the past, few weeks.
Fowler from the middle of the fairway.
The 5-iron in the 16, getting it to the position where I was, to that front pin.
What a great shot that is.
4 birdies so far for Rickie.
I knew where I was at.
He's got to get it up over this lip quick. Oh, that was brave. That is unreal.
You're thinking more towards like probably a 50th shot with this, not playing for really any help with that.
I love that. Okay. I love that. Yeah, so you comfortable here. Come on, nice and committed to what you're doing.
Chance after chance, every hole here at the opening round for Fowler has got that 1-shot lead.
And then I saw that Xander was at 7 at that point.
Schauffele on the tee here at 7.
I mean, I just think that this hybrid, you gotta really got that pinch cut. And I think this, you can just rope it. Okay.
Pretty much what Austin I would call a tomahawk 4-iron. That's pretty much all I have in my body.
And with all the focus on Rickie Fowler, this man's right there. He's got a chance to get to 7 under. At the 8th, the par 5 coming up for Rickie Fowler.
Oh, this is way right, guys, way right.
The right there, yes, it is a hazard, but you could potentially have something to get it out. I had a gap, had the bridge. I wanted to make sure I got it above the bridge just in case I pulled it at all. And really just try to hit it fairly quickly. Just kind of react to it, don't think about it a whole lot.
Oh, this is fantastic. What a shot.
Up until the 9th green, our last hole, I didn't really know or see any scores.
Rickie Fowler makes history at LA Country Club. It is the lowest round we have ever seen at a US Open.
My dream was always just to play on the PGA Tour. Yeah, if you were to tell me as a kid, yeah, I'd be stoked. But obviously, being human and being out here, I want more.
Rickie Fowler's made history. Xander Schauffele has matched him. The 2 lowest rounds ever at a US Open.
Austin actually, give him some credit, which I normally don't do too often, but 3 or 4 attempts today where he talked me into, a safer line, even on, 6, for example. I was trying to go left, and he was like, let's go this way.
It's out there. You're waiting on him now or what? I just want to give my thought. Oh, that's what it is. I thought you were waiting for him to have a good job, guys. Good job.
What? He was just saying it's for more coffee. I gotta go peek at that. Oh, anymore. Makes me. Because I didn't see anything. I was just going, and then on 9 green, our last hole, I looked over and I saw your 7. I was like, oh, let's go. I thought tagged on. That's what I was telling all of them. Yeah, they're making birdie. The second still. Because I never on the whole front 9 or back 9, I never saw anything, so I didn't know. Oh, okay.
And then I saw that. I was speaking all day, baby. You're a fighter.
With a pair of record 62s in the morning, now it was the late wave's chance to keep pace.
Please welcome our 2011 U.S. Open champion, Rory McIlroy.
So McIlroy with the putt at the opener, 1 under after 1. Perfect.
With the way the fairways are running, like my 5-wood on that 8th hole is going 300 yards. You leave yourself a 4-iron into that green and you're taking some of the trouble out of play with your tee shot by doing that.
Looking for a soft bounce. He gets it.
It is a very exacting test.
Beautiful putt. It's a great look at 6. Wyndham Clark second.
I think you can play it a bunch of different ways. I personally like going for it. Today I went for it and was just short, chipped it up and had a short little birdie putt. There's a lot of creativity out there. If you get in trouble, there's some holes where you really gotta be creative and have some fun, and I typically like doing that.
That was just a tremendous shot from Wyndham.
As much as you try not to make it any different from any other tournament, majors just have a little different buzz. 6 under in any major is usually really, really good, especially a US Open.
See that wedge just get stuck in the ground. He doesn't like it.
After Thursday's fireworks, Friday brought frustration at the Los Angeles Country Club.
God, why do I keep holding on?
The North Course bit back in the second round, where major champs and fan favorites, along with some hometown heroes, were left packing their bags early.
Start pressing on this golf course. It's going to eat you up pretty quick. But I'll learn from this and I'll be back.
But not all players were confounded by the course. Some were poised to improve their positions. And Matt Fitzpatrick was determined to defend his title.
Does he have a hole-in-one? Yes, he does! A hole-in-one at a U.S. Open.
Rory McIlroy was looking to end a 9-year major drought and win his first U.S. Open since 2011.
I've went through periods over the last few years where I haven't been patient enough. We've had some tests recently where you have to display patience. You know, hopefully those few experiences recently will help me this weekend.
Well, that was just a little bit of perfect.
About a year and a half ago, I adjusted my irons 3 degrees more upright, from being relatively flat to more upright.
The par 5 8th.
You should fly it almost right there. With what? That 3 irons. But I'm gonna tee it up, okay? Yeah, I don't care what you do. I made it though. Yeah, I know. So you have a 4-iron move, right? Well, if you think it's a 3-wood, no, I'm saying so you have 4-iron. It'd still be all right. I think it's a perfect one of these.
I'm working on my own on my golf swing. It's myself and my caddy pretty much monitor my golf swing. I don't have a swing coach, and that's kind of helped me own my swing and own my game.
You have to understand that patience is the key, especially in major championships.
What he and John Ellis's caddy are working on right now, just kind of getting a definitive read.
Over at 14.
Probably the shot of the tournament for me.
I just want to know where a good one goes. If it's good one's going right here, then I want it over there.
I mean, if you go short or long, you can bring in big numbers, and my caddy John wanted me to go left, and I said, I have a good lie, I just kind of want to pull it off, so.
I'm okay with it, Dub.
Because honestly, if it came up a little half, if it did that rough over there like this, it was probably not a problem. I mean, it's a really big line. Yeah.
Come on, you're the best.
Oh my goodness. Wow. He went for the hero shot, he pulled it off.
Back on top by himself at 9 under, Wyndham Clark.
With Wyndham Clark posting a 67 to take the lead at 9 under, Rickie Fowler And Xander Schauffele needed to be precise and persistent to stay atop the leaderboard in the afternoon.
It's not that easy out there. The fairways look very wide because, yes, the mode areas are wide, but where you actually have to hit it is very small.
Come on now. First 3 holes for Rickie Fowler off the charts.
Oh, that would have gone in a thimble. What a putt.
Rickie Fowler's game has been dialed in. That's birdie number 15 this week.
Xander Schauffele, man, he was tied to lead with a few moments ago. He trails by 3.
This is what everyone wanted. You had to be a lot cleaner about how you're attacking the pins.
Oh boy.
That's a big mistake.
With a nuked wedge on 14 and the green being really firm on 15, it made that really hard.
And he's not precise enough.
I'm swinging it too good to let the round get away from you.
Fowler at 17.
What a shot.
How old is sweetie now? Just over a year and a half. Talking a whole lot, yeah. She understands a lot. She loved going to like the tour school, and that's cool. Yeah, I remember those 2 goals. That's such a great asset for us.
We're only halfway there. A lead right now really doesn't mean anything.
He birdied half the holes at this point, and that's incredible, really. And he only has a 1-shot lead.
A little different after 54 holes, because that's when things really heat up.
Thank you, Rickie.
Yeah,
Nice playing today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys' help. Thank you. Thank you.
Please welcome Dustin Johnson. Harris, England. Harris. Spencer Joplin. Rory McIlroy.
No one wants me to win another major more than I do. I've been trying and I've come close over the past 9 years. I've showed a lot of resilience in my career.
Beautiful start for McIlroy. And here's Schauffele in this bunker at the first.
He's just got to take some sort of a wedge here and make sure he gets it out for a 3rd shot.
No. Whoa. What a mistake. What a mistake.
Oh, my goodness.
I got sloppy in certain spots, and I made bogeys pretty quickly. If you want to avoid doing that, you just have to be better.
How's my putter doing? Any good? That's great. Is it? This is team Rick Fowler putter. No, Mono. Oh yeah, it's team Mono. Oh, I didn't know that.
I was playing the pro member at Seminole. I just remember Rickie making everything inside 10 feet with that putter. So after I was like, let me hit a couple putts. As I was leaving, I kind of thought about it all night. And I texted Joe Toulon with Odyssey, and I said, hey, can you make me Rickie's putter? And he's like, yeah, what specs do you want? I said, exactly his. I don't care, just exactly like his. We're at Quail Hollow, and that's the first time I've seen Rickie since I switched to it. He didn't play in these other events. And he started laughing, he smirked at me, and he's like, oh, yeah, you know, he's stealing my putter. And then sure enough, I win that week.
That's working out.
Look what you're starting.
You know, Rickie's a little older than me, and he was a role model and someone I aspired to be. One of the funnier things is just the fact that I'm using his putter.
While the chatter may have been friendly between shots, the intensity ratcheted up as players looked to make a move on moving day.
Harris English in the fairway. Yeah, there you go. Boy, they're just taking advantage of this 3rd hole. Up on top and stay there. Really, really good shot. Didn't play enough.
Mine can wander. It's nearly impossible to go out there and be dead focused. I've done a lot better with my process leading up to shots.
I like the wind a bit. Swing there, Rick.
Really good shot there. Almost impossible to get it close.
Because there is a tee back where the stands are. 7.
PJ was telling me there's a tee back there, and he goes, it'll be 300, and sometimes they'll play it as par 4, par 4. Like in a member. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Because it's like 20, 30 yards behind where we were. So it'd be like 290, 300 front.
Or just have basically just those 2 holes back to back and have them play as a par 7.
You know.
20 birdies now this week.
Fowler at the 13th. Line. Yes!
I feel like we did a good job of staying present. This is the best I've felt definitely in a long time.
I try to stay within myself, not let any one shot dictate the next one. The minute I make that one, I'm on to the next one.
Wyndham Clark in total control. Big putt for McIlroy. He's got it.
It doesn't look or feel like any of the other 3 major championships. The US Open's definitely got its own identity.
Scheffler is on the most celebrated hole here, 81 yards, the par 3 15.
Such a question. No, not with the cut. That way I can try and get some spin on it. Okay. On the blue? Yeah, right on the blue.
Whoa, we got another incoming one.
I want to win the golf tournament. I'm proud of how I fought.
This is a shot and a half. If it backs up,
you need to
here
get it
it
off that
goes.
hump, and there it is.
I was getting punished for my mistakes.
He needs to read the greens just a little bit better.
Now over to 17. Is that going in? Scotty Scheffler! Eagle 2 on 17!
And then all of a sudden, you know, shot goes in from the fairway and all that stuff just melts away.
Sit. He's short. Sit, 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 sit.
Oh, that looked like it went up against some rocks.
That's a tough pin for me. I hit a cut. I didn't feel comfortable drawing it into that flag.
Rickie, you okay with right here?
Yeah, no, I think it was cut pretty good.
It couldn't have hit right here and got all the way over there. It looked like
I thought I was just going to be in the flat in that hazard, which we did hit practice shots on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I was like, oh, you can actually get it up and down from here, barring getting a bad lie, and unfortunately it kicked and went into a terrible spot.
2 call blanks.
Making bogey didn't cost us the tournament, and it was one of the biggest points of today.
What was your experience like watching during US Open?
Well, it was surreal. It was very emotional. He was coming in that 18th hole on Saturday. The shot on TV, that iron in with an epic twirl.
Be right.
And I saw him say, be right, but his face was so confident. I could tell it was different. It wasn't like, there was no fear. It was awesome.
Wow! Twirl of the year.
There's a lot of emotion. It's the US Open, and I wanted to be in that final group.
He wanted it. You could tell. He really wanted it.
And now Fowler. Oh, and this still isn't in.
Just a bummer. But tomorrow's a whole new day, and like I said, that's kind of when the tournament really starts.
On a day where many fathers and sons open cards, share a warm embrace, and enjoy a day of leisure, others ready themselves for Championship Sunday.
Here's this. Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's nice being the underdog. I belong on this stage. I could play and compete against the best players in the world. I felt like I've shown that this year. It was great walking by, hearing a lot of people chant for Rickie's name because it just fueled the fire underneath me that I could do it.
You've got two players in the top 3 in the world together.
This is the 2:19 tee time. Please welcome from Dallas, Texas, Scotty Scheffler. And from Northern Ireland, please welcome our 2011 U.S. Open champion, Rory McIlroy.
When you're in contention going into the final round of the U.S. Open, the tee shots are hugely important to then give yourself the opportunity to attack the pins.
Towering shot. That is how you do it. It'll be a 2-putt birdie, and McIlroy has birdied the first hole all 4 rounds.
I'm not scared to fail. I've dealt with that.
Rickie, let's go, Rickie. Good, brother. Thank you.
We're just going to go have fun, continue to try and execute, leave it all out there, and see where we stand on 18.
Please welcome Rickie Fowler. Please welcome Wyndham Clark.
It should hold the fairway. I want to pitch it on 6 or 7, so 210. 211.
Is that's 6?
Yeah. And we're finishing on this USGA, that U right
like
there,
that,
right?
That won't stay on the green.
Ah, stick kind of turned a little.
And that is all that's left for an opening birdie. To the second.
Probably a little bit more in between on some shots and just missed some of my lines.
Hole 4, it's just really hard to hit it close. And if you miscue there, it's an easy bogey.
I bet he's the only player in the field not using a tee on the par 3s. Well, that's going to hurt tee sales in the future.
Got rebounded well and birdied in the 4th.
I do like it. If I'm being picky, it's just over 45 shots down, okay? Yeah, love it.
Iron play was very below average, and that's a big thing in majors, especially on a Sunday.
And he actually hit that too hard.
He rammed it by.
Kind of dangerous here.
He went under it yesterday.
Well, that is so good right there.
That is really good to take a 2-shot lead.
With Clark holding strong, the pressure shifts to the top-ranked chasers to close the gap.
Starting at the pin, but turning over way to the left.
There's a lot of Bermuda rough up on that left hillside. Oh, man. That's the first putt inside 7 feet this week that he missed. That was a 4-footer.
My speed control was off a little bit, and I think that's the reason why I didn't hole a lot of putts.
Back to 7.
Oh, no. He went for it to 8.
Hang on, let that gust go. Kind of back on our face real quick. This shouldn't be actually straight in our face, should be. All right, see those blue flags right there. Finish on that one, okay? That's gonna be it. Can he back off the shot and get back in there, or is he stuck in there right now?
No, he can back off and get in there.
Okay. So I just come in and put my foot down.
Yeah, that's where your foot needs to go. You just can't loop it around.
Yeah.
And move it.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
I couldn't see where I was hitting. The lie was not bad, but I couldn't see. In that moment, my mind started going fast. My caddy, John, said, "Hey, Dub, we're fine." And it's no big deal. honestly, that's momentum. Making bogey there didn't kill me and kept me in the tournament.
With back-to-back bogeys at 11 and 12, Fowler's grasp on a storybook comeback was slipping away.
You learn from all your experiences, as much as it sucks. After the last few years being in this position, we're just continuing to build and continuing to move forward.
Holding a one-shot lead on the back nine, Wyndham Clark leaned on caddy John Ellis to face a challenge on 13 that few had escaped.
It's in the rough.
Not one player has been able to put it on the green from the left rough today.
I can get it out, 100%. Probably just jump, Michael.
Yeah, it's a 9-iron probably.
Obviously, if it got here, it's just top.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to metals because you can pitch it down. Okay, sorry. Put over, is that okay?
Yeah.
Wind is where?
It should be off the left. It shouldn't affect it out of here, right?
No.
So it's just basically at the 13, right? It's gonna probably start a little left, right? And then if it hits short and kind of works its way to the right, we're okay with that.
You think it's just a regular one?
I think it's just a 9-iron out of there. Okay. All right?
Stay in short grass. Stay in short grass.
Well, now, one player has gotten it on the green if it holds.
It's on.
Playing the final par 5 of the championship, Rory McIlroy could not afford to allow a good scoring opportunity to slip by.
I felt like it was a perfect full sand wedge, hit it hard, get some spin on it. And then while we were getting prepared for the shot, the wind started to freshen a little bit, so full sand wedge wasn't getting there. So I just said to Harry, like 3/4 gap wedge would be perfect.
Bunker? Yeah, that's fine. Bunker. The wind came up.
I hit it when the wind was at its strongest. I think I had the right club and the right shot. I might have just had to wait an extra 15 or 20 seconds to let that little gust settle.
Well, it looks like that ball we saw in the bunker, that's Scheffler's, and they can't find Rory's.
With both McIlroy and Scheffler failing to take advantage of the par 5, Clark found himself in the 14th fairway with a chance to live out his mantra and play big.
When my mom was passing away and on her final days, she kind of brought me into a room, which was obviously very intimate. One of the things that she said to me was to play big, and she kind of always had said that. She goes, you're gonna have a platform to witness and inspire young kids, adults, and she goes, make sure that it's not for your own selfish reasons, make sure it's for something greater than yourself. It's become my mantra.
The lead is 2 for Clark. The pressure's enormous. You're trying to win your National Open, and so much runs through your mind between shots.
And it's amazing to look at, a negative thing of my mom passing away and what she told me with playing big, how it's turned into such a positive. It's definitely words that I think about all the time.
Clark could ice it right here.
Always praying that I'm playing big for her and that she's looking down and smiling on me.
What a shot. Wyndham Clark, look at that opening. It's only about 20 feet, and he gets it to turn left. Wyndham Clark here for eagle.
Really wanted to make that eagle. I make the birdie putt. And that was the first time I looked over at the leaderboard and saw I had a 3-shot lead. And that was the first time that I lost my focus. '15th, I make bogey. The next hole, and I caught the bunker on that tee shot. Got in the bunker. I said, okay, let's just hit it out. We can hit it on the green and we can make a putt.
Just how they drew it up.
I hit a great shot. I hit a perfect putt. and it just went the wrong way.
Boy, it is getting tough for him to close this thing out.
Got on 17 tee box. I probably hit one of the best drives of my life.
He just hit the longest drive of the day on this hole, 351 yards.
186 left to the hole.
What do you want to try? 5, 10, 15, 20. If you pitched on
75, 10,
77 shot. Off the right. Okay. What's up there? There's not much up there, right?
So you think it'd just be a high 8-iron?
Yeah, I just thought it was a normal 8-iron.
That's a good miss.
This shot by Clark. Wow, he's had incredible touch around the greens.
One shot back. Rory McIlroy needs to make something happen to win his first major since 2014.
Fine margins at this level and at this tournament especially.
Safely on. 2 putts from there to post 9 under.
I fought to the very end. I'm getting closer. I would go through 100 Sundays like this to get my hands on another major championship.
So I think a 7.
I think it's just a perfect 7-iron. Okay. You don't need to try to hit it and upshoot it again, okay? Just a normal Ranger, Rick, Sunday, 7-iron.
We knew we couldn't go long, and basically we knew the only place that we couldn't get up and down around there was if it went long left or long right. We took away hitting a 6-iron, so we said, let's just hit a 7-iron, and if we're below the hole, whether it goes in the bunker, even if it plugs, we're gonna have a putt to win.
Take that touch. That's all right, this is still the right club. I want you to make a full aggressive ball swing here. Right at that palm tree in the background, okay?
Need to make a par to win the U.S. Open. As I'm walking up, I tried really hard not to look around and anything. I was like, okay, right now let's do more of the be cocky part and let's get it in. Initially, I thought I was only 20 feet. So I was like, oh, money, this is easy. And then I get up there and I'm barely on the green and I have like a 50 or 60 footer and I'm like, oh boy. And then I remind myself on uphill putts, I tend to always leave it just short. And so I got over that saying, I'm the best lag putter. And then I said, okay, just make sure we give this a little extra hit because I typically leave it short.
It's over. He did it.
Those next 2 minutes were probably the hardest 2 minutes because I wanted to break down and cry then, and now I have all this emotion coming up. I just felt my mom's presence, which was neat.
The stage is clear for Wyndham Clark. Takes down all the stars in Los Angeles to win the United States Open.
All I really wish is that my mom could be here and I could just hug her and we could celebrate together.
So meet me in the morning sun.
The champion of the 123rd United States Open goes to Wyndham Clark of Denver, Colorado.
My name's on that trophy forever. I think more great things are going to happen, and I'm just hoping this is the beginning.
So meet me in the morning sun.
Take it off. Take it off.